had this uncle who told me that he always dreamed of opening a bar in Montana with a, quote, place to shoot out back.
That would be great.
Where you can just, have a few beers and then go off and just shoot into the distance, into the field.
Well, how could that possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
That sounds like a guaranteed success win.
You'll never hit anyone. There will never be anyone there.
Okay, that reminded me of the thing that I thought of last night. Okay, with the new character for the show.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
No, this is a good one.
Okay. We're ready.
The Manic Pixie Dream Cop.
Ooh, that sounds real bad.
I have some stuff written down here.
Oh, no.
He just wants to, shoot in the rain.
Okay, here's what's happening, you bag of shit. We're getting nachos and sundaes because it's freaking amazeball. And your slime ball boss doesn't appreciate you. And we're going to put on a musical starring everyone in town. And then he puts a Sig Sauer pistol in the mouth of the mop-headed shoegaze protagonist guy's mouth. Or is that an issue, you cocksucker?
Okay.
Oh, dear. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Hey, dirtbag, get your fucking pussy on the pavement. Let's get tattoos first thing in the morning. Life has to be fucking spontaneous, or what's the point? You worthless fucking bag of shit. I should put lead in you right now.
Ooh, this is very bad.
Yeah, it's very bad.
Making me sad. Making me feel bad.
You don't like this guy?
I really don't like him at all. I would not like to cross paths with this
The
gentleman.
Manic Pixie Dream Police Officer.
No, thank you. Swiping left on that guy.
It's Garden State Trooper.
Nice.
Yeah.
We already have the title.
All right.
Now the movie just writes itself.
I mean, this is in the wake of the last project we worked on, The Route for Cops.
Yes. Hey, this is
Blue Excellence.
Yeah. It has the headphones. It's like, this is Disturbed. It'll change your life.
So we're doing an episode today. We've been doing a few fairly serious, rallying cry episodes. A lot of news going on that we feel like we need to cover. The primaries going on, but we've been home for just 3 or 4 days,
nursing our wounds.
In between tours, and both Virgil and Will can't make it, so we're doing a whole new permutation.
This is a chaos configuration, if ever there was one.
A chaos configuration.
We've done it once before.
We did it once with like a movie. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Aquaman. This was the Aquaman team.
Oh, this is the
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
This is
that
Aquaman.
was delightful.
You know what? Aquaman team reunite.
Yeah.
This is Aquaman Team Bravo.
However, we were extremely on substances.
Oh, we were all very lit. Now everyone is nicely sober.
Yeah.
This is actually a good segue.
Yeah, this is a good segue.
So that was, I think, was that the last DC? No.
Yes.
Have we done one since?
I don't think
Aquaman?
there's been a DC since. Well, Joker, I guess.
Yeah, okay, but that
doesn't count.
That really doesn't. That's not part of the
It's more of an art
DC.
film.
That's the prestige.
It's the prestige part of it. Yeah, we're talking about the DCU movies.
Yeah, the white glove DC.
That's the fancy. Yeah, that's the lace curtain DC movies. The Joker. We're the shanty Joker. We're the shanty DC movies. So the most recent release of the shanty DC movies was the pseudo sequel to Suicide Squad.
Girl Joker.
Girl Joker, yes, starring Harley Quinn, called Birds of Prey.
Yes.
Which me and Chris saw yesterday.
Yes, we did.
So not the whole team. So this will be sort of like a book report.
Yes.
We'll explain to you guys what this was like, because I went in expecting nothing because it looked like garbage, and I saw the trailer and it's like, oh, Harley Quinn. I remember her from the movie. And then Black Canary. Oh, I don't know. What is that?
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Huntress.
Okay,
Is that
she's
Mary
the lady
Elizabeth
with
Winstead? Isn't she like 40? What's going on? And then it's just like Renee Montoya. Just like a woman's name. And it's Rosie Perez. It's like, I'm sorry. This is a superhero movie.
Yeah, you are phoning that in.
Yeah. You've got to have an alter ego.
Yes.
You're not just, it's like, what is she? Cop woman. Nah, just call her name.
Yes. Detective Renee Montoya.
Yeah. So I was like, pass, but I didn't have a lot to do. I was still nursing my wounds yesterday. We're all getting back to our power levels after New Hampshire. And Chris was like, let's go see it. So we saw it. And I got to say, I was surprised by how much, I enjoyed it just on a surface level, but also how of the moment, I guess, is what I would call it.
Au courant.
It was. Au courant, yes.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, the parts of it where it's like Margot Robbie hitting people with a big hammer and roller skates. That's fun. It's colorful. It's
It's got kind of a 60s Batman feel to it, especially
yeah.
the ending. You want to expect like Zap and Pow to come off the screen.
yeah, exactly. The other parts where they're trying to do back and forth, like mixed timeline, character introducing storytelling, a little tedious.
You mean it's not particularly dialogue driven? Is that what you're saying?
That was a big part of Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it has the same editing as Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad was, it was like, do you remember when like, in like the late 90s when they would give Puff Daddy like $300 million to make a music video?
Yes.
All right, so
Where he's on a Vespa?
the plot of this video is that I'm inducted as the president of the mafia, but I'm also releasing the world's most powerful rap album. But the head of the government, Dennis Hopper, is trying to stop me.
Yeah.
That's like, it was the same like pacing as those, where it would be like, it would be Puff Daddy like rapping, and then it would be Dennis Hopper like in a sewer for some reason. He'd be like, we can't let him rap. It's going to bring down the government.
Stop him.
The boardroom table at the head of the FBI saying we must stop this from happening.
That's like, I know we're talking about Birds of Prey, but that is my favorite style of music video.
Oh, yeah. The Mariah Carey Honey video,
Yeah.
which has like a jet ski chase
She's
on
too
it.
hot.
She's just so hot.
We can't let her hit the hook. She's too sexy.
Birds of Prey had that exact editing style where it keeps jumping back and forth in time until it gets to the big fight at the end, and then that's just played straight till the end.
Yes.
It's the exact same style. But what I thought was most entertaining what I amused myself the most with while watching it was reading it as a allegorical tale where Harley Quinn, because it's about Harley Quinn breaking up with the Joker and like going off on her own. That's her arc.
Mm-hmm.
Yas Queen.
Yes, it's very Yas Queen. It's very girl power. But specifically, the context that made sense for me was Harley Quinn made sense as a stand-in for like Lauren Duca or some other young media woman.
Because Eve Pizer.
Or Eve Pizer or somebody. Like her life in the big city very much mirrors a lot of the tropes that we associate with like, Yas Queen media feminism. Like, for example, one of her first scenes after she's like, I'm freed from the Joker, is her going to her favorite bodega, Felix, to get the best bacon, egg and cheese sandwich in the city. And it says like this scene, it's this sensuous minute-long slow-mo of them making the sandwich and then her getting
sandwich.
it. And she's like, the best in the city. This place has got it. And it's literally like my bodega. And her fetishizing her perfect bodega sandwich, which is what you've been doing jokes about for like 2 years.
This is like Cambridge Analytica stuff. It's like the same as something we're going to talk about later, but it's like, everything's so micro-targeted now, but like the same screenwriters, the same journalists, the same like just general media shitheads all like read each other's posts.
It's
and have
all
for the past
totally incestuous.
4 years. So like the result is that like some shithead in Silver Lake is like, oh, everyone knows about the bodega sandwich.
Yes, because they've been following New York people on their fucking Twitter feed for the last 3 years.
Giving us the worst monoculture of all time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the shitty like General Soy affect.
So to flesh out Matt's thing, it's like the Joker, who does not appear in this movie. And honestly, it's hilarious. We probably could have used like a scene of
give me some Leto Joker, please. I'm jonesing.
Wait, I thought it was a breakup. Is there no breakup scene?
They break up, but
off screen.
She's thrown out of a room and like the door's closed, and she goes. They never show him. It's a bummer.
So in this movie, Joker is basically like Brian Goldberg, like the guy who owns Bustle.
Yes,
and he is downsizing his operation, and all the people that he brought on for his like Mike style op-ed, It Happened to Me editing unit, gets fired, and that's like the Harley Quinn, and now they have to go freelance.
Yes.
The Birds of Prey are basically the people that they meet at like the Wing or something.
Right. They're everyone who got fired when like Gawker got bought
or like
out.
when the place I worked, Mike
guys,
completely
exactly.
downsized.
This is making me really sad.
Yeah. And so now they have to like make
I'm
it
really
in the
sad
city.
right now.
Make it in the city.
like
And
this.
Ewan McGregor plays the bad guy. Best part of the movie is Ewan McGregor. He does a delightful job.
Chewing scenery.
Classic over the top villain. We love him.
Chewin, you might say?
Yeah,
Sort of
Chewin
of a
McGregor?
Rick Manian. I would honestly give him at some points he had sort of a Rick Manian element to him. He represents another one of like a hegemonic, like maybe the guy who ruined Deadspin
Or,
like
yeah.
Spernbacher or something,
Or whoever owns Vice right now.
Yes, yeah, whoever is like the big like media Vice would actually be good. I think it might be Vice.
Yeah.
Because he also represents bro culture.
Yes.
Like he hates them because they're women. Like that's very clearly said in the movie.
And he has
subtextually.
fetishizes like Orientalism. He like shows off. I don't know if this is Orientalism, but it has like the shrunken head
exactly.
collection
Like
and
Vice
African
going to
art.
Africa.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's a whole scene where he introduces like, here's the African mask, and here are the shrunken heads,
And
here's the
acupuncture.
Ecuadorian,
Yeah.
and the. It's like, oh my God, he's Shane Smith.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah,
McGregor
yeah.
is Shane Smith. Okay, perfect. This is too perfect.
Oh, God.
And another element of
so sad.
media feminist
I gotta get
culture
outta here.
that we found on the movie. Harley Quinn, she moves into an apartment above a Chinese restaurant, and she introduces someone to the old Chinese man who runs the restaurant, and she's like, he's like my father.
Oh no!
Yes.
No!
There's a whole scene where she's
like,
this guy raised me, basically. Like, this guy's the guy. After I left Mr. J, he took me under his wing. I love him so much.
This is
Yes.
one of the most legend. So this is someone who read every post we did for the last 6 years.
It's just the monocultural milieu of Twitter absorbed by Hollywood hack screenwriters. They don't
Holy
even know
shit.
what they're referencing.
Hold on. What's the name of the guy who wrote this?
I don't know. We gotta look it up.
Guy
I
or
think it's
girl
a
wrote
lady.
Is there a word for that? Like they don't.
Well, that would be-
like,
that's
not,
even
not
better.
knowing
That's
what
even
you're
more perfect.
referencing,
Like
but,
osmosis?
picking up-
Yeah, osmosis.
Yes,
Yeah.
osmosis, yeah.
Yeah, if it's it is a woman, which is
They've
even more perfect.
absorbed
She's
it.
literally
Yeah.
she's describing her demographic cohort, her fellow media women
Yeah.
of the same age, and Harley Quinn is their story, the story of media women in the city.
Yes.
It's pretty interesting actually,
And
and depressing, as Amber has pointed out.
I'd say it's entertaining.
Women are
6.5 out of 10.
unhappy.
Yeah, very unhappy.
They're so unhappy.
But if they'd be so much happier, though, the movie says, if they just hit men in the head with a giant cartoon hammer, if they just smashed him with a mallet, they'd feel better. That's basically what it says.
So basically, the message is that both the problem with and solution to your life's problems lies in men.
Yes. Well, yes. By crushing them instead
Yeah.
of sucking up to them.
They're your problem. No matter what it is, no matter what you do, everything is male focused.
Yeah. Yes. They get all their at the end of the movie. They get their sense of identity and jouissance
From a relationship
from,
to men.
Well,
Yeah.
beating them up, but yes,
Yeah.
a relationship.
But that's still
with
a
men.
relationship to
No,
men,
absolutely,
yeah.
yes.
So that's Birds of Prey.
No,
Give it like a
no.
3 out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything better to do, worth seeing.
It was fine, and it was sold to me by Chris on the reviews that said it had good fight choreography. And I will say that for one of these movies, the fights are pretty good. It's not the Raid or anything, but compared to the blurry, CGI bullshit in most
Yeah.
action scenes in superhero movies, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like fight choreography. I would
Nice
say
and colorful.
that's-
I like seeing
Margot Robbie is
delight.
a delight as always.
Yeah, I like
This
seeing
is
her.
actually the
She's
weird
fun.
thing about that
She
is
rocks.
that like she's sort of like she's like a movie star.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
she's
Yeah,
like
for
a
sure.
good
Huge star
actress.
now,
She's
yeah.
fun.
She produced
but I mean,
this
she has
movie?
like star power.
Oh,
Like, she
absolutely.
has
Yeah.
that
She's got that face. It's like,
charisma.
get out of here.
It's not just like the face. Like even like Wolf of Wall Street. Like she's
Oh, she's good.
good.
Yeah.
Like
no,
she
she's
does
great.
like
So part of me
we-
is just like, why are you?
we made
doing
fun of
this
how
movie?
like she did a terrible she only did the Harley Quinn voice like in half the scenes in Suicide Squad, but we figured that's because she had like 4 directors. They shot her over 2.5
Totally.
years.
Yeah.
So it's like
Totally.
she had no consistent
That
thing.
thing was just like picked up off of the cutting room
Yeah.
floor.
Exactly. Whereas
Like
she
imagine
does,
going into work and doing
and-
a voice
and-
like that,
and, you
and,
know,
like
and-
literally every day a new person's there being like, turn it up to 10. No,
Exactly.
turn it down to 5.
Suicide Squad was run like the Bay of Pigs.
yes, absolutely.
There's just constantly people like in and out.
Yes. But she does it the whole time in this one.
Yeah.
Very consistent, very good. And yeah, like when she does like a non-joke Brooklyn accent in Wolf of Wall Street, she's great.
If you want to see Margot Robbie shoot several cops in the chest with a beanbag shotgun, but
Yes.
instead of beanbags, it's confetti when it hits them.
Yeah.
This is the movie for you.
Yeah. Yeah, she's Antifa too.
Yes,
Go crazy.
All right. Like the other best actress in the world, Ava Green.
Sure.
What if you did a movie where Margot Robbie and Ava Green are like New York media women who hate each other secretly, but like
Ooh,
pretend to
but
be
are
friends? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't they do
That'd be
that?
That
kinda
sounds
nice.
like Bombshell.
Yeah, they did that in that. Did anybody see Bombshell?
I don't think
I didn't
so.
see Bombshell.
No. Bombshell's like too pro journalist.
Yeah.
I would make an anti-journalist
Bombshell is
movie
like one of those
starring them.
movies that's like you know how they say there's the 4-quadrant hit
Yeah.
where it gets all the demographic quadrants? that is a rare no quadrant.
Yes.
Because it is a movie that is critical of Fox News, right? And it's about the horrible culture of Fox News. So it's supposed to appeal to libs, but the protagonists are Fox News contributors and hosts, who those people hate.
It's like doing a movie about the guy who fell out the guard tower. Taking it's like a legal suit that he brings to the
because like sexual
that
harassment
could theoretically
stuff,
be
like,
interesting.
Fox News bad. That's heroin for libs.
Okay,
but Fox News bad. But these Fox News women who I've spent my whole life hating, I'm supposed to sympathize with.
But if that movie was made by, I don't know, a French director, like that could be cool because it's like here's a shitty person being sabotaged by a. But it's because it wouldn't hit you over the head with the moralism of it.
Yeah. If it
No.
was a French movie, so like 4 hours smoking hot babes,
That are all 61 years old.
smoking hot
And you would
60
still have sex with them.
61-year-old babes fucking a disgusting man with no shoulders.
I gotta say,
like every French
the
movie.
ideal. So John Lithgow, I believe, plays Roger Ailes in this.
Okay.
Russell Crowe played Roger Ailes in a Showtime movie about Roger Ailes. The ideal Roger Ailes is Gerard Depardieu. That is another reason it should have been a French movie. I mean, he basically played him as John Strauss-Kahn in that fucking that Abel Ferrara movie. So
That
this would just
movie
be a
owns.
reprise of that.
I love thinking about French Fox News.
French Fox News. Oh.
Hello, Renard Network.
We have interview with Eric Trump.
Yes.
He's going to show us how he runs his business.
the French Hannity. It's just an hour of him like just shrugging sarcastically at pictures of Democrats. Adam Schiff.
The French would probably like, if they didn't like really know his politics, like they'd like Hannity for some insane
Big
reason.
Red-faced oaf.
Yeah.
They love the oafier Americans. It confirms their ideas of us.
Well, you could just run Hannity in France, and it would come off as like a delightful satire of the oafish American.
It's like, look at him, like that. It to be like that, you know.
Yes. Well, what else? What else do we want to talk about?
What
today?
else is in the news, folks?
Should we talk about Liz Smith?
All right, it's still the case is going. The case, but we need to talk about it. So this is like literally breaking news because now there are conflicting sources and there are claims being made by certain people.
Claims
the
are being made,
of
folks.
which I do not credit one way or the other. That this thing might actually be a real person. I doubt it highly from what I have seen. But so this morning, it was revealed that there is a Twitter user who claims to be a Nigerian man living in Nigeria who loves wine and politics and exclusively tweets at and about Liz Smith, the comms director for Mayor Pete's campaign.
Correct. These are the facts.
These are the facts as seen and accepted by all. And what people noticed is that some of these replies were very odd. One of the chief things odd about them is that they were often made during late evening in American time zones where it would say something like going to sleep and dreaming of a Pete victory at a time when it would have been in the early morning, like 6 or 7 in Nigeria. That's eye-raising. The lack of U's and British spelling in the English, the cadence, things like that. Mm-hmm. But the one thing that really tripped it
The
was...
word diarrhea had 6 vowels, or didn't have 6 vowels.
The one thing that tripped it was they posted a tweet that literally said, "This is Liz, gonna go out there and rock it" or something.
It's time to. We're moving into phase. Hi, this is Liz.
Yes.
We're entering phase 4.
Yes.
Now is the time to.
Which,
phone
by
back.
the way, the thought
Phase
that there.
is more disturbing.
Oh God, the thought that there's a whiteboard in Mayor Pete headquarters that just says Phase 4 on it.
Yes.
That is blood curdling.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
it
terrifying.
might as well just say like not the CIA
Yes.
at your headquarters.
It implies that there's a war room somewhere full of like sweet green.
Yeah. Oh God, no. It honestly, to me, it implies like eldritch rituals. Like the idea that Phase 4 is Cthulhu rises out of the center of the reflecting pool in DC.
I see more like Strange Love run off of an iPad.
So this tweet was posted. Now later, people have pointed out subsequently that this was actually an email blast that had been copy and pasted, which is still weird. But anyway, people pointed this out and had a little fun with it, and then it was refuted by Liz. That's the big thing that made it news, is that she said, this is not true.
You think that I'm tweeting from a sock puppet account? You guys
Get a
are
life,
crazy.
losers. This is pathetic. And
John
of course,
Favreau replies to that. People have lost their minds.
the phalanx of God simp American boys who showed up to White Night was frankly disgusting. And media scumbags in general. Honestly, a disgusting display of simpery. One of the worst I've seen.
Those guys still have not, to my knowledge, publicly acknowledged or discussed their close relationship with the stupid Iowa app.
Yeah. Still
that's
very
also
interesting.
Intimately related with the Pete Buttigieg campaign.
Stroking my beard on
Yes.
all of this.
Yes.
So they're claiming now that it isn't real, even though the history. This account has a history, and until 2019, it basically only posted about Bitcoin and selling accounts,
Selling sock
puppet accounts. So even if there is some real guy's name connected to this that they're maybe pulling out of a hat now to claim actually he was posting all of this, I don't believe that. Whatever they come up with, because this is, like I said, there might be somebody right now on tape going, I'm the guy who did this. I'm putting my marker down, sight unseen. I don't buy that these tweets were written by that person.
No,
That
yeah.
They gave either because of ideology or for money, they gave the P campaign access to their account.
Okay,
no, I
but
mean-
I'm looking at the rebuttal from BuzzFeed News,
Okay, yes.
which is just,
what was
no, this is
posted.
not a Pete Buttigieg campaign sock puppet account. But then they're like, the man who runs the account has confirmed to BuzzFeed News that he is its genuine owner and a supporter of the South Bend mayor's candidacy from Nigeria. The man who runs Easy Chinedu account, widely accused of being a sock puppet for a Mayor Pete Buttigieg staffer, told BuzzFeed. By the way, a Mayor Pete Buttigieg staffer it's kind of a weird, like, just say Liz Smith. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
His head of comms.
Yeah.
We all know her.
Told BuzzFeed News that he is a genuine supporter, has nothing to do with the South Bend mayor's campaign. Tweets falsely implying his account was actually a Buttigieg campaign. Community advisor Liz Smith garnered thousands of retweets and likes on Sunday, despite Smith's tongue-in-cheek denial. Okay, they explain it, but then they're not saying how what their contact with him is. They just said, I read the campaign email regarding Phase 4, and Liz introduced herself like that. I don't receive campaign emails, just to clarify. I just read one on Twitter. I was just having a little fun with that, said the man who runs the account. He's asked for his full name to be withheld because he's been getting harassed and doxxed online after the false narrative went viral. Clearly, I am not Liz Smith. That's the whole point. I also want to apologize to Pete's campaign and Liz for contributing unintentionally to this new controversy. This is not like, that doesn't prove anything. This is what there's
nothing.
You're not saying like, yes, we spoke with him.
Yeah. You got an
we
email.
confirmed his, we confirmed his location, we confirmed his identification, but we're not,
No, they got an email from an email address.
Yeah. I mean, like most
maybe they got a phone call. Maybe it was Mayor Pete doing African guy voice.
yeah. Most
He's very proud of his African guy.
most like
voice.
astroturfing campaigns like that use somebody's real identity.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
and most of the time, like this is what people did when they went crazy about Russian bots. They'd find someone tweeting like pro-Trump stuff and be like, "Oh, you died 6 years ago."
Yeah.
And apparently that was cause for war, but this is like cause to like tweet the like tongue out face at Liz Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the simpery levels have become dangerous and unacceptable online right now.
Well, what this also
This is fishy.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that all of this stuff is fishy, and it also covers up another thing where the very same day the P campaign seemed to announce that they were getting an endorsement from Keegan-Michael Key, and then they had to walk that back because he was like, no, I'm not endorsing Pete. I'm endorsing the idea of voting.
I would pay anything for an oral history of the boffed Keegan-Michael Key
God.
endorsement. Just Pete and like Liz Smith and just a table full of fucking great clips
That would
haircuts.
be peak Iannucci.
There was a comedy program on Comedy Central, less ribald than Chappelle's show, but especially for African Americans. Perhaps we could secure an endorsement of that during phase 4.5.
But it's the exact same.
Also, though, that's such a bitch move to endorse voting.
Celebrities
Get
love
off the fucking fence.
Fuck off.
Celebrities
No.
love like endorsing the concept of voting.
It's-
Do you guys remember Vote or Die?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like-
I remember
Daddy.
the T-shirts.
Vote or die, baby.
Remember, like, like fucking Christina Aguilera with like duct tape over her mouth and like a single tear.
Yes, I remember Puffy wearing his.
I love that idea because they're trying to be so hard with the idea of like
civic-mindedness.
Yeah, it's like literally like
fucking metal.
Yeah, like old dirty bastard is going to come to your house and kill you if you don't vote. For anybody, you can vote for Bush. We don't care. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's like, whatever. Hey, let's all.
I tell you what, I want certain people not to vote.
That's that. Or if you're gonna vote for the wrong person, stay fucking home.
Yeah.
I have no interest in seeing you carry out your civic duty.
Yeah.
So you could vote for fucking like the reanimated corpse of Harlan Sanders.
Yeah.
I don't want you to fucking vote. You can stay home.
Yeah, so long as we don't have mandatory voting, you know what? I would like my candidate to win and not some other people's.
That was a big thing in the early to mid 2000s was like aggressive pro voting songs.
Yep.
That was like, I'm gonna fuck your mom if you don't vote. It was such. It was
Honestly,
a late
the
90s
Beastie Boys'
through early
"Fight for Your
2000s.
Right to Party" is a more political song.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, what it was is that voting participation was going down, and it was because there was nothing left to vote over. We had a neoliberal consensus. What was the point of this? And so there was no material reason for anyone to vote really anymore. And so culture panics because you need voting to legitimize the state. So it comes back and says, hey, no, vote. It's cool. It's fresh, Daddy-O. Just because now you're having to like use culture to basically fucking, resuscitate the corpse of democracy because you fucking killed it by eliminating any economic choice in voting.
God, I'm sorry. I'm still looking at this. Nigerian shadow account conspiracy theories are the new rat emojis.
Yes.
Sad, but not surprising, said Matt Corridonia. Sorry, I'm just obsessed
I want
to
lens this out a little bit because also on Friday, Slate's Mike Pesca. Hi, Mike.
Bafangu.
It's called
Like
out.
Pesca, talk about something being fishy. Just kidding. Vibes.
Called out the show on Slate's The Gist for engaging in reckless conspiracy theorizing about Mayor Pete's CIA, so-called CIA links. And it's just stuff like this, stuff like the CIA thing, all the fishiness that is coming out of the Pete campaign. This is like what Amber said about the Iowa caucus. Does it matter if it is directed and a conspiracy, or is it just idiocy and incompetence? It doesn't matter because whether or not Pete literally works for the CIA, would his resume and life and effect and policies be any different whether he was an asset or whether he was not?
Yes, he's behaving as such. It's a distinction without a difference. So it doesn't matter if the CIA is paying for him or he's an unpaid intern.
Yeah.
He's still
Because he will
working.
serve the interests of the agency
Yes.
and power. Either due to
Either
ideology,
consciously or not.
Due to ideological commitment and social status, or just because he's literally getting a paycheck.
Like if my friend came over and was like, "Hey, I just got back from taking a family vacation to a breakaway African republic where I met with local leaders," I'd be like, "Dude, you're acting like you're in the CIA."
Dude, that's what CIA people
Oh
do.
no, but
Yeah.
hold on a minute.
Dude,
I'm
you're
also
posting CIA,
getting an op-ed about it published in the New York Times for some reason.
Yes.
Even though I'm some 25-year-old asshole who says I went there for vacation.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I love it. Well, the thing I love the most about that, though, is that they published their transcripts of their podcasts.
Oh God, so janky.
But they use like an app or like some kind of like bad AI thing, which is weird too. Because what is their budget like?
Yeah,
because do you know
seriously.
how cheap it is to transcribe? Like that is a third world outsourced
Busted.
thing.
Yeah.
It is busted, dude.
It's
it is
like-
a bad look, Mike.
It's probably
you
the
can
same.
pay someone in India like $10 to transcribe the whole thing.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to be like exploitative and just get it done, they could, or they could pay someone a decent number. Like, but they use this thing, so it's kind of like the I thought it was like like it read like the dialogue the dwarf from the Red Room in Twin Peaks gave. And like it would kind of made sense, but then it didn't, and you could sort of tell like what it was supposed to sound
Yeah.
like. And so I was like having trouble figuring out what the actual
Yeah.
point of what they were saying was because I was reading it because I didn't want to listen
You had
to
to
it.
look at it through a mirror.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
red.
yeah.
Oh, red rum.
Yeah.
Oh.
But they didn't. They appeared to not give me credit for my agnosticism, which.
Well, the thing is that they missed the point because, like we were saying, the point of talking about him in terms of being a CIA agent is to connect him to the agency as a player in American politics with interests and how he serves them. It's like, isn't there any kind of ecstatic truth, you fucking nerd? Like the Pesca approach to the world is like, well, we're gonna settle on arguing the narrow and ultimately unverifiable either way claim that he was a CIA agent. Like, they have not disproven that he was by any. They're just saying it's absurd to say he was, and they literally have no evidence that he isn't.
I mean, it's the same with Favreau replying, being like, "People's brains
Exactly.
are broken." So the fact that we are at the point where these questions seem legitimate is the point.
Exactly. And so what they would rather do is argue over narrow points of fact that can never be verified one way or the other, because that means that they don't have to ask any of the actual important or bigger questions. They can just they can pick the nat shit out of pepper.
Yeah.
Now that I know, by the way, after seeing JFK for the 50th time,
Oh, no.
somebody DM'd me and said that picking that shit out of pepper means, because I said I didn't know, and now I use it all the time because it's an incredibly useful term. It means focusing on minutia, the
minutia of the minutia
of the broader reality.
Right.
So yeah, it's like, thank you for showing your total failure to do your job, Mike Pesca, in an episode where before he talked about us, he talked about the fucking Iran-Contra. And let me when fucking Gary Webb was putting out a Dark Alliance after Iran-Contra, what would you have said about that? You would have called it a crazy conspiracy theory, and you would have said it was irresponsible to even speculate that the CIA had anything to do with drug trafficking. And now it is basically a confirmed fact. And he even it's confirmed enough for him to fucking talk about it blasely on his fucking podcast. But at the time, he would have said it was absurd. It was absurd and irresponsible to even bring up.
Yes.
So fuck him. Fuck his bald ass. I'm really unhappy that he's in our documentary, honestly. I wish we could blur his face out.
He's a fan of the show.
Fuck him. Well, good. Fuck you, Mike. Oh, shit. What's next? Did you have a thing?
My thing was Manic Pixie Dream Come.
Oh, okay.
That's been the thing I've been thinking about. I can do more
I
of
kind of
that.
wanted to
We all
talk
have
about
grids.
that, about the Washington Post Bloomberg article.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking
yeah.
of something written by AI,
That was very odd. Took a very weird track on the whole thing.
it's so weird.
So what is this article? I saw you posting it yesterday, but I didn't have time to look into it.
So it's kind of chronicling all of the horrible, horrible, horrible things that Mike Bloomberg has done to his colleagues and inferiors throughout his career as a professional bastard.
He's a real piece of shit. He's a real piece of
He
shit.
is. There are literally things he does in there where I'm like, Donald Trump would never say that.
Oh, no.
No.
It's
yeah.
too mean.
Yeah, I mean, like that is.
And Donald Trump likes to think of himself still as a benevolent person, despite being like a cruel, petty bully. He's not like sadistically aggro
Not
the
what
way
Bloomberg is,
Bloomberg is.
Right. I mean, that calls into question. Like, this is the weirdest thing about it. I think generally the reason a Bloomberg campaign would be uniquely doomed. The whole point of a Bloomberg campaign is the idea that literally everyone in America consumes as much media as you and is obsessed with Donald Trump and Lev Parnas.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
can't believe Lev Parnas revealed the truth about
Peter
I'm still blown away.
about fucking Barnack Greyjoy and testified against Hunt Scrimback and revealed through his testimony that Margot Gazmazian was paid off.
Oh, no.
But it's the idea that they have that everyone thinks like them and is obsessed. But I think we're at this point now in American history where the gulf between because there's always been media hyper consumers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, probably
Hobbyists.
more in the last 50 years.
Oh, yeah.
The gulf in communication
They've
between them
separated
and normal
completely.
people is completely, it's insurmountable. And the only way Bloomberg could like actually win a general election is if everyone was like these people.
Yes, exactly.
And it's like at some point you kind of go, is Trump like the better person here?
Oh, he's
I don't
absolutely
know.
a better person.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Sorry, if there
Yes,
was some
he
sort
is.
of soul test you could take, like a blood test of the soul, to determine your evil level as like your soul cancer, Bloomberg is a worse person than Donald Trump.
I would
Yeah.
say so.
and it's not close
Yes. No,
either.
he is a worse person.
I mean,
He's a
the more,
more
like-
vicious. He's a more aggressively vicious
Yes.
person.
Like, Donald Trump is obviously like an evil, rotten person.
Awful.
But
One of
his-
the worst
One
we
of the
have.
worst people
Yeah.
ever created.
But also
his
he's a little
evil
bit of a
rottenness
coward.
is like an elementary schooler's,
Yeah.
like a
Yes,
schoolyard bully.
because he's a
'Cause
coward.
I've said this before
Yes.
too. He is not bellicose. He is antagonistic.
because he's a coward.
And
Exactly.
that's the thing where
That's
I
a
said,
fundamental
like,
thing.
the anecdote that, might be apocryphal, but someone tells about, like, when he was a kid and, like, baseballs would end up in his yard, he would yell from the window that if you go into my yard, I'll call the police on you.
Yeah.
Whereas Bloomberg would come out with a baseball bat
Yes.
and beat the shit out of you. You know what? Bloomberg would leave his yard to find you
Yes.
to beat the shit out of you.
Or he would get his friends in blue to do it for him.
Yeah, his
And
private
watch,
army.
and
yeah.
watch. Yeah, but no, he's absolutely. He's not. That's the difference. Is that he is not a coward, and the cowardliness of Trump is something that sometimes that makes him less awful. Sometimes.
You've noticed how, like, at Trump's rallies, he seems afraid of his own supporters sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, boy, you people sure love yelling, huh?
Oh, no.
But it's like Bloomberg is looking out in the crowd and salivating at the idea of just performing medical experiments on these paid dummies.
He's just
he got to
he's
be
pricing
there.
their organs. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we've got $500 million worth of spleens in here.
And it's like if Trump's campaign people are like pretty competent, and it's like, wouldn't you're the campaign you just run, be like, President cool imbecile versus the moribund Jew
Yeah.
versus just like a guy who's just like one of the most charmless. Talk about zero positive qualities.
No,
Talk
no,
about
zero
Trump
positive.
having zero
Trump
positive
is
quality.
funny.
Yes,
That's
he's
the
way
his-
funnier than
yeah.
Bloomberg.
Bloomberg's never said anything funny. Like every Bloomberg clip where he tells like
Yeah.
like the memes that he's trying to make people
Oh,
create.
awful.
Like the subtext is like, the joke is that I'm aware that I'm not cool.
Yeah.
It just completely it fills you with this existential dread that Trump does not.
Yeah. Like
Well,
his-
I'm just thinking about like this, just the prominent examples we know, and just thinking about like Donald Trump coercing through money, like porn star to come to his hotel suite and watch Shark Week with him.
Yes.
Versus Bloomberg being openly accused by, I believe, verified of
No,
telling
Bloomberg has probably fed someone to a shark.
telling a subordinate, "Kill your baby, have an abortion, kill it."
Yeah.
First
Kill
word.
it.
One
No,
is
but-
so like they're
I'm-
both like awful and sexist, but like that is just
But
so
this
much more
article
malicious.
is insane.
Oh yeah. So what is this article?
Like, so it's a collection of complaints, but then there's also like they leaked this, I guess, like a ribald present that one of Bloomberg's they made a quote book of him and like
Oh,
distributed around his.
The wit and wisdom of Michael Bloomberg.
It's really weird. It's
Neither
really
witty
weird.
nor wise.
Like the actual, like, first of all, the corporate culture that does stuff like this that's so
Sickos.
self-referential. It's like they're all at like summer camp
Yeah.
together
Like
or something.
let's literally make a zine of our boss's sexual harassment.
Yeah. So, but like, if you look at some of these, but the way this guy wrote it, it's almost. This is a thing that I'm almost conspiratorial about, where it's just like, did they do this to like downplay how
Yeah.
awful he is?
Yeah, like we have to write an article about the sex stuff. Let's run it through Google Translate 14 times.
That's what I said. I said it sounds like it was originally written in Japanese and they ran
Yeah.
it through Babelfish.
Yeah.
But like here's like complaint number 44. Upon information and belief in or about July 1993, Bloomberg heard that a female company salesperson had just had a baby, was having difficulty finding a nanny. He yelled loudly at her in the presence of a large group of employees. I think it's a fucking baby.
Yeah, it's a fucking baby.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't know. Are you a child? Print the curse.
Let's
Print the
curse
swear.
words. Print the swears.
Are you a
Swears that
fucking
the man who wants
child?
to be president said.
Thank you.
Yes. All it does is eat and shit. It doesn't know the difference between you and anyone else. All you need is some black.
Some
he's
black.
some black who doesn't even have to speak English to rescue it from a burning building. The salesperson cried at hearing her employer say such things to her in such a public manner.
Such things.
So, like, this guy that wrote this, it's just, he has this really flat affect and, like, this weird puritanical kind of, I don't understand it. The other thing is, like, he just keeps saying, like, about the crude things that he'll say about, like, women. It says, Bloomberg also allegedly said about Garrison that he would have sex with her, quote, in a minute, but that he regretted that she didn't have legs and an a dash like a certain actress. He won't say who the actress is.
What the fuck?
Yes.
That's not a libel thing. They were just referenced.
You could
by a third
that's
party.
not libelous.
I'm sorry. I need to
also,
know.
I want to know.
I need to know
What
who
if
his-
what
who
if
his-
it's like Anne Ramsey or Kathy Bates?
Throw Mama from the train. Oh my God.
Lucille Ball.
Va va
Oh, there
voom,
was
Miss
a lady.
Mama Fratelli from the Goonies.
It's just insane. I don't even know. He keeps saying, okay, the post obtained a copy of the booklet. Bloomberg is quoted as desiring oral sex from a well-known actress.
God damn it.
First of all, desiring oral sex is like, again, that's like a Google Translate thing. I desire oral sex from you. That's someone trying to get laid reading from a phrase book.
Yeah. Also,
Like the Hungarian phrase.
you
book
can
in Monty
desire
Python.
you can desire oral sex with someone without anyone knowing.
Yes.
It's all
Yeah.
in your head.
I'm trying to figure out how you would even say something out loud that would be translated into that legalese that
Yeah,
was like he
desiring.
was making a statement desiring.
Yeah.
Desiring of, and then like, I just say the actress. I
wanna
don't know
the
why
actress,
you were
man.
saying the
I
actress.
need to know who it
One of the
is.
things, if women wanted to be appreciated for their brains, they go to the library instead of Bloomingdale's, which is just like, why not just say Gimbals? How old are you?
I hate-
How fucking old are you?
Bloomberg. The worst thing about like Bloomberg not being funny is that he thinks he is.
Oh, he thinks he's very
Oh, yeah.
He thinks he's fucking
Awful.
hilarious.
Yeah, these are all like weird, like attempts at jokes. It's very weird when you, like, my friend who she teaches and she went from going to teaching at Philadelphia private schools to teaching at like private schools in New York. She taught at Barron Trump's school, and I'm like, so what was it like? What are the kids like? And she's like, I'll be honest, I didn't know that Jews could be stupid. Leave her name, but like, and it's like with Bloomberg, you're like, I thought you people were supposed to be funny. Like,
yeah, it's because he has the act of like being funny is like you have to have some level of human understanding of humanity, and Bloomberg has none.
No.
He has absolutely none. Like he's one of the few guys that like was in the Epstein Black Book and hung out with Ghislaine and did all this stuff. However, you may interpret that purely for networking reasons.
Yeah.
He would commit.
he's
any,
like an
he would,
unsensual person.
Yes.
He would become a capo at Auschwitz just to put it on his resume.
Wait, 23. Upon information and belief, Bloomberg was unhappy with the outcome of a business meeting. He said to a newly hired female company salesperson, if the clients told you to lay down and strip naked so they could blank you, would you do that too? He repeated similar worded subsects of frequent intervals throughout the period of the plaintiff's employment. So, okay, that's like a horrible, shitty, like, again, Trump wouldn't do that.
No, he's like, get a load of a hooters.
Yeah. So, but then the way this guy frames it, other Democratic candidates have dealt with related issues. Senator Bernie Sanders last year apologized to female staff members of his 2016 campaign who said they were sexually harassed by coworkers, saying it was unacceptable behavior. How is that a similar issue?
What the
How is that a similar
Some guys
issue?
that Bernie had no contact with at a field
What's
office.
that got to do with Bernie? They also former Vice President Joe Biden, facing allegations that he did touch or kissed women without consent, said last year that his expressions of affection were misconstrued and that he would pay attention to the concerns.
How is that
even
one-
that isn't even close to like he's not like kill it like that is completely. And the Bernie shit is just like
How is that
What?
one
That is
fucking well?
insane.
Of
Who
course
wrote
that one's
this?
first. Of course that one's first. Of course. I wish journalists were under the conditions in this country that they fucking act like they are. Really. No one has it fucking coming like them.
this is deranged. And here's the thing that makes me conspiratorial about it. In this kind of post Me Too era, this should be red fucking meat.
Yeah.
And yet he softballs it.
Yeah. And
the
it has
whole
to
time.
say, hey, there's equivalent cases. even
Just
though
at the very least, just to be a piece of shit, self-serving journalist, which
Yes.
just to like boost his career, you'd think he would seize on the red meat here.
awful.
And he leaves it.
Yeah, comparing it to Joe Biden too is awful because I'm sorry, but Joe Biden's sexual harassment stuff is fucking wholesome compared to Bloomberg.
Absolutely.
Compared to Bloomberg,
It 100% is. It's like, well, he got a little close. He smelled my hair. He
touched my shoulders.
He said it. I reminded him of Sarah Bernhardt, First Lady of the American
You know what
Theater.
it literally is that intent does matter. And Joe Biden is intending to be like an affectionate old grandfatherly type. And fucking Bloomberg is trying to intimidate and harass. He wants you to feel scared of him. He wants you to feel
Yes.
humiliated.
And
he wants you to feel bad about yourself.
And that's why these women are all his subordinates.
Yes.
Joe Biden has never been. I'm sorry, I'm not aware of any accusations against Joe Biden by any female subordinate. It's always people he meets in a bar or somebody he meets on stage.
There are
and he
people like
grabs an ass.
associated with different campaigns.
Right,
Yeah.
but I don't think there's anyone directly that's been like he used his position above me.
Yeah.
To
There are
to
no secretaries
harass
or
me.
whatever,
Whereas
yeah.
Bloomberg exclusively harasses because he has power over them
He's a
and he gets
psycho.
off on it.
That's the only thing that gets him hard is
Yes.
the idea of someone else being afraid of him.
yes.
Yeah.
It's pure
He's
just power
an
trip.
actual sadist.
He's
Yes.
disgusting.
and I'm
100
sorry,
fucking
like
percent.
that is worse.
Yeah, and just to go back into let's dip back into conspiracy stuff. It is hard, it's like where there's smoke, there's fire thing. It is hard to read something like that in that overly defensive legalese of something that should be for the Democratic constituency, as Amber said, huge red flag, and not imagine that it's because Bloomberg has just sacks of money.
The amount of money he is dropping
all
on this
over,
campaign, people do not, I don't think people still have grasped the unprecedented nature of this. No one in American history has put this much money of their own into a political campaign at this
This
stage.
quickly, yes.
Ever.
Yeah.
Already. He's blown through he's destroyed the Martians.
And
Even
he's-
Tom Steyer at this point
and he's
is a
literally-
piker compared to him. And we have no idea what kind of distorting force that's going to have. We already know that Cap had a fucking chapter in a book they put out in 2015 about police abuse in cities, about Black Lives Matter. They had a chapter about stop and frisk. And then after a big donation for Bloomberg, they cut it
killed
out
it.
of the reprint. We know they did that. We know that Bloomberg has his own goddamn channel with his name on it.
Literally a media mogul, one of the biggest in the industry.
And the amount
if
of
you're-
money that he is putting in on ads on all stations, local and national. They're buying boats for everybody who works in media everywhere in this country.
He's been also for years and years and years paying off local politicians.
Well, that's why every mayor in America, he
Yeah.
has a mayor's institute. It's like a school of the American mayors where he gives money to mayors. And that's why every mayor, big city mayor, is fucking endorsing Bloomberg. They've got legislators across the country because they're all literally, he pays them off.
And
It's like a cartoon.
So far-
it's like some Thomas Nast.
Every
a big
single-
bag with a dollar sign on it.
Every single major endorsement I've seen so far of Bloomberg has a $1 to $2 million check with Bloomberg's
Astounding,
name
yes.
on it within the last 18 months.
Here's your monthly kickback. You just couldn't have picked a worse time.
He's like the most unlikable person
But that's-
in the world.
But
though.
what's so amazing about this is like,
If it was him versus Pete, I would max out to Pete.
well, the thing
Yeah,
is that when it comes, if Bloomberg was somehow,
I
to
do
get the
have some
nomination-
lines, yeah.
If Bloomberg
Yeah.
was somehow to get the nomination, which I'm not that worried about yet, although,
No,
like I said,
no,
this
yeah.
is an unprecedented
Yeah.
infusion of money into the campaign.
It's disgusting.
We,
is what
and
I
we
think
don't
of
know.
it, yeah.
The thing is, we can't predict because it's never happened before. But I still don't. It's too hard for him specifically to do it. But I'll tell you right now, if he became the nominee, people say, "Would you vote for Bloomberg?" Obviously not. Would you help Bloomberg? Obviously not. But beyond that, a Bloomberg win is worse for America objectively and the world than a
Yes.
Trump second term.
Yes.
Because there's never going to
Yes.
be a non-billionaire president
Yeah.
after that.
No, yeah,
It's
it's
over.
impossible.
Yeah.
It's done.
Literally, they just bought it and it's done.
Yeah.
Well, and also, like, Trump is not a fascist. Bloomberg could be.
Yes.
And way more
Yes.
effective
Yeah.
and efficient
Yeah.
at whatever he wanted to do.
Yes.
Because there's
100%.
The tanks would just be, like, would be police cruisers.
They would be Ubers.
Bloomberg or Trump ran effectively as like a culture war candidate.
Yeah.
And he was basically doing like Fox News culture war stuff. The
Yeah.
Bloomberg presidency is the de facto just outright merging of the political class or the political functioning of our country with the billionaire class.
Yes.
They become
Yeah.
a
They
single.
become fused. They've always obviously been very deeply
Yeah.
intertwined. But this is the final fusion dance between
Yes.
the two. The great one mecha super cyan.
I just
of-
don't
of
I
accelerationism.
I can't help but be like, this is the conspiratorial thing for me because, like, being somewhat, 1 foot in and 1 foot out of this journalism world, like the stuff you see, and I'm like, you're just gonna leave that there?
Yeah.
That's the most unjournalisty thing I've ever heard of. Whether you're a good journalist, which means you have a responsibility to be just like clear and stoic and just kind of have a flat affect about it and not equivocate, or you're a bad journalist and you're just trying to like fucking, blow up your own career. Either way, it's insane to leave that situation where you kind of have like an ethical imperative to treat this stuff seriously.
Gee, it would be great if there was some kind of a site that gawked at
that
rich
gawked at
people
things,
to criticize this.
seriously, if it's Bloomberg versus Trump, I mean, that's still a disaster. Honestly, at this point, it's just like a question of time. It's a question of acceleration.
It's Alien versus Predator.
Exactly.
but-
And maybe we
But the
live a
thing
little
is-
longer hanging out with the Predator. But
Yeah.
but Trump is definitely the Predator. Bloomberg is the xenomorph.
Yeah.
There's no question. So I'm sorry. I would vote for Trump. Over
America after Bloomberg, I can't even imagine what just day-to-day lives look like. But the political environment would be you just roving bands of marauders go from billionaire estate to billionaire estate, trying to convince their eldest son to join their like cultural liberal or culture conservative warrior affectation.
Yeah.
And just convincing them to put their hat in for the race for next king.
Yep. No.
What
it's
a
like,
nightmare. What a
it's like the
fucking nightmare. Better hope you can get, if you're religious, you can get to one of the pizza company Catholics. if you're a lib, you can get to one of those fucking tech CEO freaks
who has like a foundation.
Oh, like
and
Zuckerberg. A Zuckerberg presidency will
comes
come
immediately.
after
Comes
Bloomberg.
immediately
That's
after.
the next president. Will be Zuckerberg. No. No. But the thing that's exhilarating about this is because we've talked on the show about how like the Trump thing. One thing about it is that it will never be the same after that. Like a lot of people, a lot of Democrats are voting based on who can bring it back. Like that was the Biden dream. Who can just snap their fingers and make it 2008 again or something. And it's just, that's not going to happen, man. Things are different now. And the proof of that is that, first of all, that the shock of Trump winning discredited the Democrats enough that Bernie has a chance, and that the Democratic Party is so undermined and destroyed from within by its own rot that it can't mount a significant enough challenge, so that the gleaming Terminator face of capital in the form of Michael Bloomberg has to step directly in and say, yes, this literally is about billionaires trying to maintain control of this country. That is literally what is happening. There is no denying it. It is no longer hidden by any artifice or superstructure. That's the reality. Now we're confronting it. We have to deal with it.
We don't even have to do like super PACs this time. And where's the money coming from? It's all right.
Yeah.
out in the
Plausible
open.
deniability bullshit.
That thing that you're just saying is like what I think most people don't get, and especially like the MSNBC poison people that we were talking about earlier, is that you're right. There is the only way out is through.
Exactly.
There's no reset. We have to confront the issue here, which is this fabulously rich
and we are
person.
confronting it,
Yeah.
and it's so much easier now because so much is becoming clear. Look at the way that, I mean, maybe it won't go as far as we would want it to, but look at the way that liberal identity politics, like autoimmunity, has revealed itself to be fraudulent. How many people who spent 2016 saying Bernie wasn't intersectional enough, Bernie didn't understand black and brown bodies enough, and have been concerned trolling him over being not attuned enough on race for his entire time in the public era. We're talking about, he said nice things about George Wallace in the 70s, as little as a month ago. And now, on a dime, they're telling you that it's actually racist not to vote for Stop and Frisk Bloomberg, a guy who basically is on record saying that blacks are inferior and need to be controlled and contained. That's his job. I mean, how you don't have to say anything at a certain point, and that is so much. It's exhilarating to be able to fight on these contours and with this reality and not have to deal. I mean, it just, at this point, it feels like bullets bouncing off Superman.
Well,
Hell yeah.
this is supposed to be a fun, silly.
I think we had fun. I had fun.
No, I had fun.
I'm like 95% healthy now.
Yeah,
so
no, I
I'm
feel
good.
much
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
This works. My voice is a little rough, but I swear to God,
It's fine.
it's the end.
Felix,
It's very sexy. You have a Kathleen
Oh,
Turner
yes,
kind
I know.
of.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
I have a question for Felix. Would you care to speculate at why the Barstool flag is at half mast?
Yes, so I saw an image of a hauntingly beautiful image today.
This is like American Beauty. Like you're tracking the plastic bag in the
Yeah, it's like maybe beautiful only to me, but I saw an image of the apartment complex or like a vacation home where the Barstool flag was flown at half mast, and it's like, what could that be? It could be a number of things. It could be like a stoolie has passed on. It could
It's a
be
salute to the fallen smoke shows.
Right. It could be, well, it could be that there's still POWs held for the protest of Roger Goodell, and find them or I'll find you. It could be a number of things, but it is like it was it was
my belief. I bet it's probably been down since the Patriots lost the playoff game.
That's potentially true.
I think they realized, Portnoy realized, and I think everyone realized who watched the game is that was the end of the Patriots dynasty. That they're not going to be in the Super Bowl every year anymore. The Brady's era is over there, and so I think when he realized that, he brought it down to half mast.
What if like the Bloomberg experiment is successful on their part, and they just like a month from now, it like turns out they can buy everyone's, like they can manufacture the most consent anyone ever has, and
dude, we could manufacture
but like
so much consent, dude.
The only thing that can stop them is Barstool.
Yeah.
That is the book of revelation of the American story. That only like Barstool's unparalleled page views and culture, the culture of Barstool, the physical army that Barstool brings. Barstool got bodies out there to protest Roger Goodell like
What
no
do you
other
think
organization.
The appropriate disposal procedure for a Barstool flag would be.
That's a
There are all
great
kind of
question.
rules.
I
for
think
these
you roll
sorts of
that
things.
shit up in a blunt and you smoke it. I think you smoke that shit. You just put all the weed into it. You make a blunt for the ages.
It has to be lowered into a vat of lukewarm natty ice until it just dissolves into the beer.
And then it's chugged by our brother.
The Tomb of the Unknown Smoke Show.
Oh man,
I mean, Barstool, like, you know, if we're gonna be making comparisons that anger people but are correct, Barstool has significantly more integrity as an organization than CNN or Washington
Oh,
Post.
1 million
Oh, clearly.
percent.
Yeah.
There's no
Undoubtedly,
question.
Clearly,
undoubtedly,
Yeah.
it's not even close.
Nah.
It's not even close.
what do you think Bloomberg's ad buy on Barstool is right now?
Ooh. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been to the
What
site
if like
in a
what if
while.
like this was like one thing where Dave Portnoy was like, no,
Yeah, it's like I
like
got
puts
integrity.
his foot down, yeah.
I love MAGA too much.
That would be sick. Like if Barstool took down Bloomberg. I mean, Trump would still be president, but it would also be like, it would be cool because it would be like
They would have, yeah.
the most ambitious man ever. Like the more than Pete, just like the symbol of just American sociopathy.
Yeah, absolute
and
hungry
achievement
ghost.
and psychotic greed and hoarding, just complete zero humanity. And
Okay,
the thing
this
that
isn't-
stops him
this
dead
isn't
in
a
his
real
tracks.
ad,
The thing
is
that
it?
stops him dead in his tracks.
Felix,
is
did you hack the
Barstool
Barstool
Sport-
Sports
What's up?
website to make parody ads? Have you or a loved one vapes? Have you or a loved one vapes? Vaping attorneys may surprise you. Have you or a loved one vapes? Vaping attorneys may surprise you.
I vapes.
I vapes. My loved one vapes. Yeah. No
Portnoy's bringing
political
down-
ads.
Portnoy's bringing down Bloomberg.
Yeah, be the most ambitious
Weight
man
Watchers.
stopped dead in his track by the whole gang. Barstool Schmitty.
Yeah.
Barstool KFC.
Yep.
El Presidente. Dave
Yep.
Portnoy.
Big cat. Portnoy.
Even, dude, the girls from Chicks in the Office podcast.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot about
Hell,
Barstool.
even
in
the guys
past
who've been on the
month.
show, like Duncan Hunter, get him in here.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeremy Rennick, who just got
Yeah.
fired for going on to that podcast and saying he wanted to do a three-way with his co-host.
Yes. Like if that's what stops Bloomberg, that is
Amazing.
true
Just
American
a bunch
excellence.
of meatheads.
Yeah, the heart and soul
Yeah.
of the capital of the USA, Boston,
Yep.
Massachusetts.
Yeah. God bless it.
That would be
Pure thundering American meatheadery, defeating the machinations of the satanic elite.
yeah, no. Like if it's Barstool versus Satan,
Yeah.
I'm with Barstool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like it's the Care Bears movie, and they're like, we can all
We
help.
can all help. Like imagine like it's like Return of the King. It's like everyone's there. It's like the Warren Soy guys, the
Yeah.
Oh, they
Bernie
have a
guys,
women's vertical.
Barstool.
Is that Dane Cook?
Yeah, Dane Cook. Yeah. Oh
They
my
have
god.
a women's vertical called Chicks.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is where the Chicks in the Office podcast,
I'm glad that you-
Barstool's
Okay.
flagship women's podcast.
I'm glad that you're bringing so much Barstool lore.
I've been
into
learning a
this.
lot about Barstool in the past like month, I'd
Just
say.
brushing up. You're in the
what?
Barstool
I'm
wiki,
into it
clearing
now.
up
Well,
Barstool.
now that I know
canon.
I've
that
read
that's
it
the
several
thing,
times.
Now that I know that that's the thing that Felix has spent a month learning up about, it's good to know that that'll be the thing that I'm now going to non-consensually find out a lot about in the coming months.
Oh yeah, you and Will are gonna know the entire masthead by the end of this tour.
I've kept myself very blissfully unaware of the goings on at fucking Barstool. I don't know very much about it. I try not to pay attention. And now in a month, I'm going to know
you're
the name
not-
of every
you're not gonna
podcast, every contributor. Oh God.
Yep.
The frequent guests.
It's already happened.
Oh, I can
Already
see it
happened.
in
I
my
bet
mind.
Dave would run an article by Seymour Hersh. It's the last American publication that will run Hersh's exposes.
Probably.
Yeah.
God, no. Oh,
Ever wonder what an Adriana Lima and a Mila Kunis baby would like? I think they mean would look like.
no, what it would like?
There's a lot.
What it would like? Ice cream.
The
Probably
masked bees.
eyeliner.
Yeah, probably eyeliner. Indeed. How could they have a baby? They're both women. Doesn't make.
Yeah, we haven't figured that one out
Yo,
yet.
we invented gene splicing in the last Barstool blackout. We got that doctor who was arrested in Hong Kong for making CRISPR babies who are HIV resistant, and he was fairly respectful to all the females at Barstool blackout and fairly nice with it.
We used advanced genetics to create a clone of Adriana Lima.
Yeah, we are
Mila
creating
Kunis.
the hottest smoke show of all time.
in the Barstool labs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
is this open like Barstool versus USAID?
Barstool versus the P2 Masonic Lodge.
Yeah, yes. Again, I like Barstool in that contest.
Yes.
Barstool versus
Yeah.
the Illuminati.
The Barstool wins.
Oh,
again.
I want all of these. Barstool versus the Black Eagle Trust.
yes.
Barstool versus Majestic 12. Oh, God.
Barstool versus McKinsey. Like the
oh,
list goes
man.
on.
Oh, this is so good. Barstool versus BlackRock.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Barstool versus Eric Prince.
This doesn't appear to be actually,
Barstool
though.
versus Epstein.
Oh my God! What if they won that?
Yeah.
What if they had already won that? Like,
One of these posts is just Debbie just met my dad. I don't know.
one
This
of
is
the-
a really closed loop. This is,
Yeah, hey, you guys. You know Debbie? Yeah, she met my dad.
okay, do we have to put a post about
That's
it?
wicked awesome, Sully.
it's just all the goings on in Somerville.
Who's Debbie?
Yeah, that's where I get my
fuck-
Somerville news as I go on to
Again,
Barstool.
this is
Debbie.
literally better than CNN. You walk away
I don't
with
know who
this.
Debbie is, but also she's taking over Daytona.
Hey,
Yes!
hey,
Been waiting
you're
for
not down
that.
to Daytona. Debbie's taking it over.
I like that this is like ostensibly a real like news and culture website, but it's effectively the same as like scrolling through like any of those YouTube bloggers where
Yes.
every thumbnail is like, my girlfriend killed me.
If I could do an experiment where I got two 60-year-olds or three 60-year-olds rather, I get one to only watch.
60-year-olds.
If you have a 60-year-old, you don't need. They're just sitting around in your house.
If you have any access to those 61-year-old French smoke shows, bring them to Felix.
I need them for a project, and that project is we're gonna have one only watch Fox News. We're gonna have one only watch CNN or MSNBC. Maybe we need 4 6-year-olds for this, and then we're gonna have one only watch Barstool TV.
Yes.
And I think I know which one walks away with a better like worldview.
Absolutely, no
then
question.
you get thrown a curveball with the ads. Warning signs of metastatic breast cancer shouldn't be ignored.
Well, you are on
Yes, they
the
should
you're
not.
on the women's vertical of Barstool.
Watch
no,
out for
I'm
those-
not.
Oh
Watch
wow!
out. Hey, we all respect the titties. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
We all respect the titties.
I mean, those ads are probably targeted for specifically Amber.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's
I don't
that's
have a
true.
I don't know why you're
History.
getting vaping ads.
Yeah.
Presence.
I just
Yeah.
wow.
Well,
All right,
guys,
I'm in it. I'm with you on Barstool now, Felix. Yeah.
And this isn't an endorsement. I'm just saying, if these things happen, like if the P2 Masonic Lodge took on Barstool, I think
Oh,
Barstool
Amanda
would
Bynes
win.
is engaged.
Absolutely.
This is the only news I'm reading. I'm replacing
it's a good
FT
way-
with
yeah,
this.
it's fucking good news. It's like when you read CNN, it's like the Bernie Sanders dying soon. It's just nonsense. But this is like, dude, fucking Debbie met that guy's dad.
Yeah, she did. They're not
It's
lying.
Inarguable. It's
Yeah.
inarguable. That
Debbie
wasn't
was. There's photographic evidence.
Yeah, Dave would never let a lobbyist write articles on Barstool. CNN does allow that.
Okay. All right.
all right.
This is a weird episode.
I like it.
This was a chaotic
this is the
episode.
winner.
Yeah.
I think this is
I
a
mean,
good
when
one.
Will's not here, we really
we get nutty with it, as
mode.
they say.
we get nutty with
No,
it.
yeah, this is a crew where none of us are the shepherds.
No.
That's the thing. Like the couple, like Virgil's kind of a shepherd.
The monkeys are running the zoo.
Yeah.
Everybody
The
can be.
monkeys are the shepherds.
Yes. Well, I mean, I'll be honest. Is when I saw that Will was gonna have trouble scheduling today and Virgil had trouble scheduling today, I kind of purposely drove this to be like, we should just do something as stupid as possible because we've been again, last few episodes pretty intense, pretty intense like primary stuff, pretty intense like rallying around the Sanders campaign. I think that we, the hosts, and also you, the listener, deserve a little deep stupidity for
it's all
as a
fine.
treat.
And if you
chill.
didn't like it, please contact Virgil.
No,
Yeah,
it was
just
Virgil's
get in the
idea. He
DMs.
wrote the entire episode.
Yeah,
Because we're reading a
he
script.
wants all of your feedback on every single bit of it.
Oh, wait, hold on. I got something to close this out.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
In the communities that I represent, we're less interested in Sallow and more interested in Halo.
Excellent.
There we go.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
bye. All right,
Bye.
bye. All right,
Bye.
bye. All right,
Bye.
bye. All right,
Bye.
bye.